This week has been quite interesting because I started this week on a very high note. And okay, so yeah, it's going to feature my one and only baby. So I think you'll be hearing her voice once in a while because I've been waiting for her to sleep. But this morning she said, "No, Mama, we are doing this together." So, welcome to my vocal journal where I talk about virtually everything that comes to mind. Talk about and mostly about personal development, God, Christianity, lifestyle, and just everything that is meant for growth. So, welcome and welcome, welcome, welcome. If this is your first time listening, you're welcome. And I hope you sit back, relax, and just enjoy whatever you hear today. And please make sure you share to your friends, family, lovers, best friends, besties, non besties. It's not good to keep enemies. So, whoever you think you don't like, you probably might share to them to also enjoy. And if you're a returning listener, I'm glad you're back. And I'm glad you're back. So, please keep sharing my content, and God bless you. Okay, so this week I was having a discussion. Okay, I didn't start the discussion, obviously. So a friend of mine posted something on her WhatsApp status about how people shouldn't rely on just day-to-day job to make it in life, but then they should rather think of starting something by the side to help them, because a day-to-day job will not necessarily give you the financial freedom you want in life. And so I was quite interested in that discussion. I slid into her DM, The trend these days is to slide into people's DM. So I did that. And I was like, oh, getting a side hustle is not really all that. That I'm actually a corporate girly. And, if you get the right job, just imagine getting a job that pays in 6, 7 figures, like huge amount of money. And then you manage your finance very well. Trust me, you're going to like be able to achieve a certain level of financial freedom, even though it's going to come at a cost. And the cost is that you won't have the freedom to do whatever you want to do at your own time, because you have to report to work all the time. And then she was like, oh, she's not even just talking about getting a side hustle, like opening a shop. She was like, opening a shop, selling provision, selling clothes. And that is not even just what she's talking about. That she's talking about having value. I think that was her words, having value. And then it made sense to me. And all we had quite a discussion, and then it all boils down to the fact that we were both making the same, or we're saying the same thing, because I was of the opinion that if you get a good job, then you should learn how to manage your money and know how to invest your money, so that at old age, when you eventually retire, you're going to sit back in your house and enjoy your retirement, while all the money and investment you've made will make way for you. Because I'm of the opinion that, okay, because not everybody can do business. Actually, not everybody is meant for the business world. Not everybody can be entrepreneurs. And that's the mistake that they teach. I don't know, I feel like it's a mistake they teach people, because you see people coming out of universities or school, and then they're like, oh, I'm not going to work for anybody, and that's because they have demonized the idea of working for people. But then working for people on its own is not bad entirely, because even if you want to be an entrepreneur, even if you want to start your own business or whatever you want to do, I would encourage anybody to work under somebody first, because when you work under somebody, it gives you oh yes, it gives you an idea of what the business world is like. It gives you an idea of what the corporate world is like. It teaches you organizational skills. In fact, the basic skills you need to learn, or the basic skill you need to have to start your own business, you are definitely going to get it while working for somebody, especially if you are intentional. If your goal is to learn skills while working under somebody, you have to be intentional in doing that. So I would highly 100% recommend you work for somebody first before thinking of starting your own organization or your own business or whatever. Because not just the skills you're going to learn, it's also going to give you an edge in building your customer base. So I don't know why these days they demonize so much working for somebody, and then that is why you say people, oh, I don't want to. In fact, some people are not even proud to say that they work in an organization, especially if it's not one of the big or top organizations, because they feel like, oh, people will not rate them because they are working under somebody. But trust me, I just like I've been saying, I'm a corporate girly. I would love to wake up in the morning, dress up, and go to work. Starting a business is really something I've not considered fully. I have a lot of skills that if I wish I can transfer them into a business. But then the essence of learning those skills was not actually for business sake. It was just for hobby and just to have something I can eventually fall back to in case I need to start up something by myself. So starting a business has not always been my own goal. I've always wanted to just wake up, go mingle with people, because I don't really have the luxury of mingling with people, and I don't do it often. So the workspace is like is a not a safe space. It can never be a safe space. It's not really a safe space. But I enjoy being a corporate girl, working my ass off, climbing the ladder. Oh, sorry for the word. Climbing the ladder, the corporate ladder, and eventually achieving the goal I want. So I would rather work and be intentional about my finances, how to manage my money, and invest in strategic businesses that in the long run will yield returns that I can stay back and enjoy without working. I'm all for earning without working. Like after putting strategies in place, I'm all for earning while sitting back doing absolutely nothing. So this was my point I gave to her, and then she was like, oh, it also makes sense. And then she is not even of the opinion of starting a business. Have like value. There's something about value that is not spoken about always, or they've not even said so much about it. But people actually need to create value. What I'm trying to say, okay, if you know that, if you know me, I'm all for personal development, and the only way you can actually create value is by developing yourself. If you are in the same place you were 5 years ago, you currently don't have any value to bring to the table, because the world 5 years ago and the world today is absolutely different. So if you are stuck with the knowledge, the skills, the expertise you have 5 years ago, then my dear, there is nothing we are offering on the table. So she was like, oh, value, and she made a statement that, oh, for example, you studied finance, and then the only knowledge you have about the finance is what you learned in the university. Like, and maybe you graduated 10 years ago, and that is the only knowledge you have. And then you want to provide value. How? From what? From where? From 10 years old knowledge, when in fact things have changed. We have a lot of things that has come up in finance. We have a lot going on right now. The world is changing, the world is becoming sustainable, and you are not changing, you are not advancing, you are not learning. It doesn't make sense at all. So yeah, what we're trying to say today is that no matter what you are doing, no matter where you are, you should strive to be excellent. You should strive to be better. You should strive to always bring something to the table. As men will always ask women, what do you bring to the table? That is the discussion for another day. You should always strive to bring something tangible to the table. You should try to upgrade and upskill whatever you find yourself. Even in your company, you are the secretary, you're providing basic secretary duties. Trust me, there'll be someone that would come and will do better than you are, and then your skills, your whatever you're providing will no longer be needed. So don't give the excuse that, oh, you're already working, so you're stable, you can provide whatever you want. The world is changing, people are growing. Learn to grow as the world is growing. I'm not saying you should be tossed about with everything. Oh, IT is trending right now, you're going to IT. This is trending right now, you're going to that. No, You can remain in your skill, whatever thing you are doing, but just make sure you are growing. Make sure you are not being on the same spot forever and ever and ever. That is the only way you can provide value. If you are into arts, do better. If you are into content creation, be creative. Yeah, that's all for today, because I have a special guest today and I don't want the podcast to be long today. But until next time, keep learning, keep loving God, keep growing, keep being a better you. See you and bye.